Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. We've caught a glimpse of Rosalina, and since Oscar made us very worried about her earlier, we're most likely going to go after her. I don't know if the game maybe gives us an option to not follow her, but I wouldn't be surprised. But we're going to go after her. You're interrupted by a sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Hey, I think I just saw Rosalina. Wait, really? What is she doing here? We should call Oscar. Let's handle that after we catch up with her. Okay, there's no choice to go after her or not. You rush over the hill and get your bearings, the sounds of active mining fading into the distance. Rosalina is nowhere to be found, but dusty footprints point towards a nearby mine. Hold on, I just need to check my window. Make sure it's actually closed. Sometimes my cats like to brush up against the handle to the window that's like above my recording area. And this is not the first time they have kind of knocked it open a little bit, so I was feeling a draft and I was like, that's not good. I need the window closed so they don't run out. Not that they would, they love being here. But you know how cats are. She didn't. Ditchling spotted. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. And here I thought Stella was going to be the one to drag me into an abandoned coal mine. Have teens always been like this? I feel like I've really missed out on my risk-taking years. Willow is not typically a risk-taker. She's acting a little out of character this week. I never did anything like this. Huh, yeah, I would never, she says, lying. Okay, maybe I poked my head in there a few times. Well, let's get in there before someone gets hurt. Whoa, you sure you want to tag along, Neeks? Willow and I can handle this on our own. Yeah, I'm sure. As much as I hate confined spaces, I'm not about to let Rosalina get hurt in there. Even if it means I have to go underground. Stella and Kanika disappear into the mines. Before you follow, you briefly wonder if you should let Tabitha know about this. No. Follow them into the mine. You take a deep breath and follow your new friends into the mine. We can handle this ourselves. We're sneaky. The inside of the mine is warmer than you'd expected, the air thick and wet. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and your companions to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate its maze of corridors. Jesus, it's cramped down here. Does anyone else's chest feel tight? Yeah, abandoned mines are way more claustrophobic than people expect them to be, and this one's real bad. You know, because of the child miners. Or should I say, the minor miners. Stella is a fan of Shrek the Musical. The musical makes it so, does a little movie retcon. And Farquaad is now the son of one of the 7 dwarves, and he refers to his father as a minor miner. If any of you wanted to know some of the details of the Shrek musical, Kanika visibly shudders. Okay, I'm not superstitious, but if there's one way to make sure you get haunted, it's cracking jokes about dead child laborers while walking on their graves. What can I say? I do my best to tempt the spirits wherever I go. I can't believe you come down here on purpose. Yeah, it was part of my ghost hunting phase. Jesus, Stella, the things you do for your viewers. Did you find anything? I wish. If any place in Scarlet Hollow was actually haunted, it'd be this mine, hands down. But all I got was dust in my lungs and a couple of false alarms. I'm not actually sure if I think the mines are haunted. They're definitely... If they're haunted, they're definitely a different kind of ghost than the ghost of Charlie Shaw. And I also kind of like the idea of the creatures in the mines being a different kind of creature than a ghost, because that means that the second and third chapters aren't like repeats on each other, because the first and fourth chapters, their monsters are so unique. It would be a shame if the second and third chapters were both like, it's just ghosts. Although they are scary ghosts, whether or not it's not the most exciting choice of monster, they're still very scary, both of them. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. Stella pauses as sound rushes overhead. Oh my god, what was that? The mine's going to collapse and we're all going to die here, aren't we? Stella sighs longingly. If only, she's like... No. I don't think Stella actually has a death wish. I think she's certainly less cautious than she should be, because she doesn't maybe value her life after what happened to her parents. If I actually didn't learn what happened to her parents in my last recorded playthrough. So if all you know of Scarlet Hollow is watching me play, which I doubt is the case, sorry for spoiling that what happened to her parents was quite gruesome. That's just how wind sounds down here. You sound so disappointed. It just brings back memories of my last foray into these depths. Every time I thought I'd finally found a spooky ghost there wound up being a very unghostly explanation. Like local wildlife, for instance. Stella turns her flashlight up towards an alcove overhead. Say, what's the big idea? Yeah, we was sleeping here. Shut that light off, you nosy bastards. All wild animals are a little bit New York in this game. Those guys got me real good last time I was here alone. Oh my god, there are bats down here. I'm going to get rabies, aren't I? I'm going to get rabies and die in a mine collapse. You holding up okay, Neeks? Yeah, sorry, I'm just a little on edge. Kanika is stopped mid-sentence by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mine. Okay, what was that? That was... I have no idea what that was. Did that sound like knocking to you guys? The mine's collapsing, isn't it? No, let's not say that. Let's not scare Kanika. Let's try to be a little reassuring. Remind them of our mission. We should hurry and find Rosalina. Yeah, agreed. The sooner we get out of this death trap, the better. Gosh, I wonder if those sounds are Tommyknockers. Okay, no, Tommyknockers are not real. They're not allowed to be real. Are you trying to give me a panic attack? I'd love to spend some extra time poking around down here. Maybe it's got something to do with the mystery. The three of you are interrupted by a second, much less distant sound of a can being popped open. Okay, now that wasn't Tommyknockers. It came from this way. Follow me. These kids are in so much trouble. You and Kanika follow Stella further into the mine. You breathe a sigh of relief as the tight passageways give way to a small cavern. A group of teens turns and stares at you with annoyance. What the hell are you doing in here? What the hell are you doing in here? You creeps? Are you stalking us? Yeah, creeps. I just said that, Alexis. If I wanted an echo, I'd yell into the Grand Canyon. Now, I feel like it should bear mentioning right now that Willow immediately hates Becca. Because the way Becca acts, and especially the way she talks to Alexis, reminds her a lot of a friend she had in high school, who is very, very cruel to her. And, you know, now that I mention it, I think that out of all the characters in this game, Willow is the most like Alexis. Maybe Willow isn't so much a follower as Alexis is, but she definitely retreats into herself in the same way. I don't know. I've always had it in my mind, since Rosalina is such a prominent character compared to the other teens, that, Willow is really impressed by Rosalina. She sees Rosalina and she sees kind of the kid that she wished she could always be. So she does her best to try and prop Rosalina up, but I think she might also see herself in Alexis a little bit, which makes... Suddenly, I'm not so sure about what Willow will do when the mind collapse happens. Huh. Okay, we'll get to that when we get to it. I need to stew on this a little bit. I used to think that Willow would have a preference when it came to Rosalina, or just Rosalina versus all three of them. Now I'm not sure if she would. I need to stew on this. I don't think Willow is bold enough to talk back to Becca. I feel like most street smart protagonists would be like, they're fine, but that's not really how we've been talking for the most part. I think that Willow has a different opinion of teenagers than she does of other adults. She finds them... She was not happy as a teenager. She's a little more happy as an adult, but definitely not as a teenager. So she doesn't really have strong opinions about what teens should and should not be allowed to do because, she was not a risk taker as a teen. That's what she said before. So it's not like she feels like, teens should be allowed to do their own thing and do whatever. So I think that's how she feels about adults. I think she kind of admires Stella for that a little bit. The fact that she's so cavalier about her own safety. But I don't think, unlike most street smart characters, that's her attitude towards the teens. We're here to make sure you don't hurt yourselves. It's dangerous here. Dangerous to losers, maybe. Rosalina, your dad is worried sick about you. And if you ask me, he was right to worry. Why the hell would you think hanging out in an old mine would be a good idea? Is the Maxwell place not dangerous enough? Because no one usually comes in here, duh. Everyone knows we hang out at the Maxwell place now, so we had to find a new hideout. Which you instantly found, so I guess we have to find an even more secluded place where we can just be ourselves. I can't believe your dad sent people to follow you, Rosalina. That's messed up. I think that qualifies as harassment. You're right, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. You could at least check in so he knows you're not dead. He loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Don't you kids have school tomorrow anyways? It's fall break. And we're not kids. Yeah, we're teens. Are those canned strawberry margaritas? Where did you even get those? I love that the chip bag just says chip. It's one single tortilla chip in there. The teens avoid eye contact. Miles tries to melt into the cavern wall. Oh no, I know that isn't you, Miles. It had better not be you. Interesting that we noticed Miles right away, but Kanika did not see him until this moment. Keen-eyed, she is not. Yeah, whatever, it's me. What are you even doing here? Becca's right. Sounds to me like you're stalking and harassing and all that. You're supposed to be minding the store. It's not like anyone even comes in on Tuesdays. And Mom's there, so it's fine. I feel like Miles got some new sprites. That face looks new. Eyes start uncomfortably around the cavern as Kanika tears into her brother. It's not fine. It's extremely not fine. Why do I always have to be the responsible one? Do you know what I would give to be as carefree as you? I left school so you would have a chance to live your life, and this is what you're doing with it? What would Dad think if he could see this? Stealing booze from the family store to dick around in an abandoned mine. Dad's dead, Kanika, but if he were here, he'd be disappointed you wound up being such a bossy jerk. Who cares if we're having canned margaritas somewhere nobody's supposed to bother us? Both of y'all should cool it. There's no reason we can't all safely chill here together. No, as we established, that's not the kind of street smart that Willow is. Miles, don't try to twist this around on your sister. You're down here drinking with kids as young as 13. That's messed up. Whatever. Hey, don't talk about us like we aren't here. Yeah, we can hear you. Alexis, don't butt in. I'm trying to make a point. We're perfectly capable of taking care of ourselves. We don't need a bunch of sad 20-somethings telling us where we can be or what we can do. Sad 20-somethings? Hey, I'm not sad. Where'd you get that idea? Writing a clickbait YouTube channel where you run around in the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. Anyway, my dad is actually a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this area because there wasn't enough coal left. Not because it was dangerous or anything, so we can hang out here anytime we want. Becca's dad's right, though. Check out how sturdy this place is. The teen with the beanie jumps up and slaps a strut in the ceiling. Oh, was that the knocking we were hearing earlier? One of these days I'll find a real Tommy knocker. Oh my god, Zane, cut it out. Jumping up to hit stuff is extremely 8th grade. No offense, Rosalina. None taken. The other 8th graders are totally immature. Not like you, Rosalina. You're chill. And smart, too. All of you quiet. This is serious. This isn't just a question of having fun. Miles, you could get in big trouble if anyone found out what you've done. I hope this is the first time, but it is definitely the last. Let's get out of here before there's a cave-in or someone gets tetanus. Aw, Kanika, you don't have to end their little party. We know Rosalina's safe. We can just stick around and keep an eye on them. And we can look for ghosts while we're at it. One of us could pop out of here real quick and text Oscar to let him know that Rosalina's just out with her friends. You're just saying that to seem cool, so we stop making fun of your YouTube channel. That's not true, but I also think it's okay for teens to make bad decisions sometimes. Anyway, Rosalina isn't going anywhere. She's better off here than at home. Yeah, tell them about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. We've been living in the library for the past couple weeks. Dad says we can't stay at our house. They've got a hot plate and a couple cots in one of the back rooms. It's actually a pretty sick setup. No, it isn't, Zane. Rosalina deserves better. I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for that. He's a good guy and he cares about you, Rosalina. He thinks our house is haunted. Oh. Wait, what? It's such a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to you to save face. What a coward. I think that in our other channel playthrough, my other channel playthrough, I knew about the house being haunted already because I had talked to Pixel. But this time we kind of ignored Pixel and just kind of got mad at him for being a a paper eater. If only Willow was bolder around animals. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to you to save face. What a coward. Becca, I don't think you can, say that about other people's families. Isn't that, bullying or something? This has all been bullying, Zane. Shut up, Zane. That was bullying. Everything Becca says is bullying. Back up. He says it's haunted? I can't believe he didn't mention it to me. I can investigate. There's no ghost, Stella. It would be cool if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish he would be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it. Like I'm still a little kid. Huh. At this rate, I'd be surprised if your house wasn't haunted. I've seen some real bad things in this town. Even if it isn't a ghost, it doesn't mean Oscar is lying to you. I feel like Willow has an opinion. I think she's probably of the opinion that Oscar is probably right. Yeah, that Oscar is probably in the right. She likes Oscar. She thinks he's a good dad. Why are all the adults in this town such weirdos? But Willow didn't feel comfortable weighing in on the parenting situation there. So she just kind of mentioned the hauntedness of it all. There is no ghost. There are no such things as ghosts. Oscar is just lying. Yo, what if we break in and ghost bust the place anyways, just to be sure? Oh my god, Zane, you can't ghost bust if there is no ghost. Also, Rosalina lives there. She can't, break into her own house. There's no ghost that you know of. I bet we could figure out how to bust it if it's actually real. And if it isn't real, well, problem solved. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay over at my house until Stella ghost busts your place. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch. Yeah, I think Willow can recognize Alexis's crush on Rosalina. Because Alexis very clearly has a crush on Rosalina. I think that's making her like Alexis a little bit more, and because this is how... I guess this is probably how Willow kind of... Not inadvertently, what's the word I'm looking for? Too subtly, tried to convey her crushes when she was growing up. And she sees that Alexis is trying to be outspoken here and help, and Becca's gonna shut her down, so... I think my decision is actually gonna change from what I did in my original off-screen Willow playthrough at the end. Why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It's not a thing. There is no ghost. Whether there's a ghost in Oscar's house is a question for a time when we're not in immediate danger. And to ruin everyone's fun, the answer is probably no, there is not a ghost. Now I'm gonna drag my shithead brother back home and suggest you kids leave this empty mine before someone gets black lung, or gets crushed by rocks, or meets any one of many terrible fates that people tend to meet in abandoned mines. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. That wasn't me, I swear. Then what is it? Come on, Stella, didn't you have a whole list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mine noises? It's Tommyknockers for sure. I know this isn't why we came down here, but we've gotta check it out. Stella. I know, but weird stuff's been happening around here the past few days. What if this is our chance to get an actual solid lead? The stakes couldn't be higher. Do you have no sense of self-preservation? If you guys are going after something spooky, count me in. Nobody is going deeper into the mine. Nobody is staying in the mine. We're all leaving. Please, before my heart gives out. It'll be fun, Neeks. It will not. Wait a second. Where'd three of you run off to? Are you kidding me? Wow, Kanika, maybe if you weren't still scared of the dark or whatever, you would have noticed some sneak off. I noticed some sneak off, and I've been zoning out the entire time you've been here. Oh hey, they must have squeezed that child-sized tunnel. Oh no. No. Dang, I've always wondered where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there. I love this sprite so much. Becca's head pops out from the tunnel's entrance. We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here 1,000,000 times. Yeah, if Becca says we're safe, then we're totally safe. Whatever. Come on, you two. I know a cool spot this way. Okay, I think we can catch up with them if we just follow their voices. Do you want to take these two out of here while Willow and I track them down, Neeks? Look, I know I've made a bit of a fuss about not liking this place, but I'm not about to leave you two alone down here. What if something bad happens and I'm not here to help? Or what if you run into something totally normal down here that you think is a ghost and I miss out on my chance to figure out what it actually is? Alright, knuckleheads, if I don't escort you two out of here myself, can I trust you to actually leave and go home? Yeah, I think Kanika only comes with us if A, Tabitha is not here to insist upon coming along, and if B, Gretchen isn't here to be carried out. But now Kanika's gonna come with us to the end. That's fun. Yeah, sure, I could never fit in that tunnel anyways. They have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time here is up. But only because Stella promised me a ghost hunt tomorrow. Whatever, I still have to do my dailies anyways, and the service down here sucks. So, every time before, when he said dailies, I seriously thought he meant something to do with the general store. No, when he says dailies, he's talking about a gacha thing. Miles is a gacha gamer, so I won't express my opinion on gacha games in case someone watching is a gacha gamer, but that's what that's about. He's gotta pick his anime girl out of a deck of cards or whatever it is they do and spend $50 on it. Good, now go. I need a sip of tea after that sick gacha burn. Miles and Zane quietly head back towards the entrance. Alright, let's get this over with. Alright, we're not going to protest. We do want to save these kids. You remain silent. We can get coffee at Winnie's once we're all out of here. My treat. Sounds good. You and Kanika exchange a glance as Stella ventures forward. Venture deeper into the mine. As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear echoes of conversation bounce across the walls. Becca, why are we doing this again? We could get in so much trouble. We're doing this because I'm not about to take life advice from a YouTuber and a dropout. Whoa, that is so uncalled for. I didn't drop out. I'm going back to vet school as soon as my family doesn't need me here. I don't know. I think Stella's kind of cool. Her videos are really neat. Oh, come on. She doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? Not yet, but I'm in talks with Meat Rice, and I make plenty from ads and donations. You okay, Kanika? Yeah, it's fine. I just can't believe we have to deal with that Becca girl slandering us while we're sticking our neck out for her. God, I hate her. Normally I'd say she's just a kid, but wow, she doesn't have an uncanny ability to go right for the jugular. Meat Rice? That's a big deal. They're on like every big podcast. Thank you, thank you. It feels like a really big step for the channel. I'm just glad they're not gossiping about me. Yep. Yeah, I know they're just teens, but some of that stuff stung. Another knock, closer, interrupts your thoughts. Followed by another. Followed by another. Is it just me, or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? Yeah, it's not just you. Okay, that knocking is starting to freak me out. Calm down, Rosalina, it's just mind sounds. Did you guys see that? No, it was just a shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. I saw it. So yeah, Rosalina is sticking up for herself in this instance. Like, every time Rosalina speaks, she's going against something Becca says. Willow really, really respects that. And at this point, Willow's main goal is to get Rosalina out of the mine. Which is going to happen either way, I suppose. But yeah, I think Willow is also seeing herself a lot in Alexis being too scared to stand up for herself. Shut up! There's nothing down here. Stop trying to scare me. Are we sure the tunnel they went through is going to meet back up with us? I mean, we're still able to hear their voices. At the very least, we're still heading in the same direction. What did they see? Tommy knockers. Tommy knockers aren't real, but there's a reason people think they make those sounds. And it's not a coincidence that the whole Tommy knocker myth is tied to mine collapses. We're getting closer. Let's keep moving. Ooh, that looked like a new Kanika sprite. As you progress deeper into the mine, the knocking grows more frequent. It's still distant, but it's much louder than before. The tunnel ends abruptly in front of you. A century-old ladder is the only way forward. In the darkness beyond, you can still hear the echoes of terrified teens, their panicked arguing bouncing down the pitch-black corridors. Well, it looks like the only way forward is that pit, and it sounds like there's somewhere down there. I've never been this far in. It looks like a death trap. Are you sure we should go down there? You can wait up here, Neeks. It might be good to have an extra pair of eyes up here, or a voice to lead us back. Alright, I'm not going to argue with you. That ladder looks older than all of us combined. Good luck. Alright, let's do this. Stella hoists herself over the edge and begins to climb down. Follow Stella down into the pit. You walk to the ladder and climb down. Stay safe, Willow. I'll try. I'm pretty sure this is the way back. Come on. Pretty sure? I thought you'd been down here before. Okay, maybe I didn't get this far in, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I definitely remember the way out. Hurry, I don't want to be down here anymore. I think it was actually this way. Oh, shut up. No one even wanted you to come with us anyway. Becca. Yeah, they're close, all right. It sounds like they're really lost. The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd. Distant. Step forward. There is something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it. Walk towards it. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest. A desperate need to perceive and be perceived. Wrap yourself in the darkness of the pit. Hey, are you alright, Willow? Bear witness. Stella reaches for your shoulder, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the dark. I feel like the seal looks a little bit different. Ugh. Willow! Willow, are you alright? Oh, thank God you're alive. It looked like you had a seizure or something, and then you just conked out. I think actually it is quite likely that those were ghosts. I think the flames, I never really noticed this before, the flame-like shapes, those actually looked like they were coming out from the light on their mining helmets. So I think that's what was going on there. Those were ghosts. She's okay, Kanika. Thank God. Okay, don't move a muscle. I don't want you straining yourself while you're still recovering for whatever that was. Kanika and I are going to go get you help. We'll be back soon, I promise. You fade back out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues, now magnitudes more intense than ever. Red leaves, important choice coming up. Through it, you once again hear the panicked voices of bickering teenagers echoing down the stone corridors. Becca, you're just getting us more lost. It's this way. If you're so sure, then why don't you just leave? I can't believe I let Alexis talk me into inviting you in the first place. Becca, I'm just trying to help. I said go. Okay, I will. Alexis, you don't have to go with her. You know that, right? Take a side, Alexis. I'm sure Becca knows where we're going. She wouldn't just lie. Sorry, Rosalina. The increasingly desperate voices of the teens are drowned out by the thunderous knocking. You can practically feel the ground shake beneath you. Can almost see the walls vibrate with the intensity of the hellish sound. As you settle more into your senses, Rosalina appears in the passageway to your left, out of breath and teary-eyed. I'm so sorry I snuck off like that. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. This place, at least part of it, is coming apart. Becca and Alexis are still down there. We can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Please, I don't want them to die. Going after those kids is a bad idea. Best case scenario, someone gets horribly injured. Worst case scenario, all four of you die. The fact that Street Smart is coming up now. Oh boy. I can't sync with this knocking, but I'm gonna try. So, street smart Willow. Street smart Willow knows that going after the other two girls is a bad idea. And she wants to teach Rosalina. She kind of wants to reward Rosalina for sticking up for herself. She wants to... underscore to Rosalina that what she did was a good thing. And that's what I did in my original playthrough as Willow. It might have actually been inspired by this, the choice. And I think there's a part of Willow that also wants to be petty and vengeful against Becca, and as an analog, the old friend that she had who was cruel to her. But Alexis, man. Willow sees herself in Alexis, too. Another dusting of debris falls from the ceiling. You don't have long until this mine collapses on you. I think Willow wants to reward Rosalina, but she also knows that this is important to Rosalina. And that Alexis is a good kid. We're gonna go after them. Okay, let's do this. Oh, look at how relieved she is. Thank you. They're back this way. Hurry. This is different. This is different than what I did in my original Willow playthrough. I'm not 100% sure about this decision in terms of character. I don't think I was 100% sure of it before, either. But this is the choice I'm making for this playthrough. But other bonus, it's different from what I did in my original channel playthrough too, so we'll be able to see something different. Rosalina runs back the way she came. Follow her. The mines shake with each new thunderous blow as bits of rock and dust fall from the ceiling and scatter on the floor around you. Oh, poor Rosalina, she's all covered in debris. I thought you knew the way out. I thought you'd been down here a million times already. I was making it up, okay? We're coming. Just stay where you are. Rosalina, you came back. I don't want to die down here. Okay, we are going to be a little petty. Aw, look who wants to leave the mine now. Okay. You quickly push your way back towards the entrance, pieces of fallen rock littering the path around you. As you reach the pit, you and Rosalina direct Becca and Alexis to the ladder. They start climbing. Climb out of the pit. Why couldn't you have just listened to someone other than yourself, Becca? I'm sorry, okay? God. Continue towards the entrance. You push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. To your horror, you can see cracks forming on the walls of the tunnel. Come on, you gotta go faster. We're almost there. I can see the entrance. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. No. And then the knocking fades and you feel safe, having arrived back at the entrance in one piece. All except for one of you. What the fuck? What the fuck? Rosalina, are you okay? Clearly she's not okay, idiot. Shut up, Becca. It was your idea to go down there in the first place. This is your fault. This really hurts. Stella and Kanika pop their heads through the mine entrance. I think I hear voices in there. Oh my god. Rosalina, can you hear me? We're gonna get you out of here, okay? Stella already called an ambulance. But that means cops are gonna come. They're gonna know I was drinking. They're gonna know we went in there to drink, right? Becca, that doesn't matter. If my dad finds out, he'll kill me. He can't know. Becca squirms through the gap in the boards and scampers away. Don't worry about her, Rosalina. She's being an asshole. One of us should wait by the gate to make sure they find us up here. I'm going to go get Tabby. Alright, I'll go down to the gate. Rosalina, I'm so sorry. I'll be back soon. We're gonna get you out of here and you're gonna be just fine, okay? Willow and Alexis will keep you safe until then. Am I gonna die? Rosalina, don't say things like that. No way, I've seen people bounce back from worse. Probably, sorry. We're gonna say I've seen people bounce back from worse. Thanks, Willow. Rosalina's breath comes in quick, irregular bursts. I'm glad they gave Street Smart an option there. Especially considering we didn't listen to our Street Smarts before. Rosalina's breath comes in quick, irregular bursts. If I don't make it, tell my dad I'm sorry. I'm the one who has something to be sorry about. This is all me and Becca's fault. We never should have gone down there. It's not your fault. I went down there because I wanted to. Rosalina pauses, catching her breath. Thank you, Willow. I'm glad everyone else made it out okay. Couldn't have done it without your help. Alexis is right. You're very mature for your age. We're still really impressed with Rosalina. Worrying about others at a time like that? You're more brave than a lot of adults I know. It's true, Rosalina. You're really brave. Braver than I am, and smarter. If I hadn't stuck with Becca, maybe... I don't know. Maybe it would have been different. It's just not fair that this happened to you. You're the nicest person I know. Rosalina? Still awake, just hurts like hell. Sorry, I shouldn't be pushing you to talk. I'll just hold your hand until they come back with help, okay? Alexis grasps Rosalina's hand. Tears streak down both of their cheeks as you sit in silence together, waiting for the long, anxious moments to pass before help arrives. Some of my men are on their way with rock lifts. We'll get you out of there soon. Willow, I'll be having a word with you. They're over here, Earl. Jesus H. Christ, you weren't kidding about the emergency. It'll still be a bit for the ambulance. The nearest depot is over in Brevard, so it'll be at least another half hour. You heard the man. You have half an hour to get her out of there. Move it. Rosa, sweetie, I'm here. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't have to be sorry. It's okay. We're all here. You can hang on, Rosalina. I know you can. Tabitha's men quickly get to work and manage to pull Rosalina out from the rubble just as the ambulance arrives. Sir, I'm afraid there's no space in the back. What do you mean? I can't ride with her? You're better off driving behind us. We're headed to Brevard, so it's quite a ways. Is she going to be okay? She's going to make it right? Please, God. Yes, sir, I promise. We're going to do everything we can to keep her stable. Her vitals are looking good. Rosalina, my poor baby. I'll be there as fast as I can, okay? I promise you won't be alone. I love you, Dad. The paramedics load Rosalina into the back of the ambulance and drive off. Oscar approaches you off to the side as the police talk to Tabitha and her men. What the hell happened in there? Oscar, I'm so sorry. It's okay, it's okay. At least nobody died. What happened, though? What happened in there? A goddamn after-school special is what happened. That Beck girl is a terrible influence is what happened. That's what we're gonna say. You can't go blaming a teenager. It was the Tommyknockers that brought the mine down. The what? We don't know what caused the collapse, but Miles is just as much at fault as Becca. But Willow didn't have a Miles in her past, did she? Now, there were probably some mean boys, too. No, this was no teenager's fault. It's a parent's job to make sure their kids don't deliberately put themselves in these situations. Rosalina was mad at me, and instead of fixing the thing that was driving her away, I just ignored it. This is my fault. Oscar. I'm the parent here. I'm sure she thinks I'm making things up about our house being haunted, but I've seen things that I can't explain, and it's only gotten worse over time. She told us about it down in the mine. For what it's worth, I believe you. No comment. But after tonight, I don't know. Once you're back from the hospital, we can check it out for you. Thanks, Stella. That means a lot. I've got to go. Mr. Gutierrez, is it okay if I come too? I want to be there for her. Of course, Alexis. It'll be good for her to see a friendly face. The two of them head over to Oscar's car and drive off. Do you think Rosalina's going to be okay? The paramedic said she was stable. She's a tough kid. She'll be okay. That was too easy to be our ditching problem. Yeah, I think you're right. We still got a lot of unanswered questions, too. Even more than we had this morning, and we had a lot of questions this morning. This is all still a little too magic for me. Just because two bad things have happened doesn't mean there's a pattern. Right? I think I hallucinated down there. As soon as I saw that carving, I saw weird flashes, and when I came to, I could have sworn I saw shadows in the corners of the chamber. What if it was some sort of vision? What? No, Willow was probably right. Autosuggestion is a thing. I don't know, Neeks. Willow had, like, a seizure. Next to a creepy stone carving. It was like something out of a movie. That doesn't mean she had an actual vision. There has to be some other explanation. What the hell were you three doing here? I thought I told you to stay out of trouble, yet here you are at the scene of what was almost a deadly accident. How did you manage this? Tabby, come on, it's not Willow's fault. Stella is right. If this is anyone's fault, it's yours. You have an abandoned mine on your property that was barely even boarded up. It was only a matter of time until something like this happened. If anything happens to Rosalina, it's on you, Tabitha Scarlet. How dare you? It's not like I put up a big neon sign saying, cool place for teens to hang. It's clearly not safe. You three are up here with them. Why didn't you do something to get them out of there sooner? Yes. Righteous anger. I love to see it on Kanika's face. Cool it, Tabitha. We're probably the reason you have one kid in an ambulance instead of 5 buried alive. Fine. You're right. At least nobody died. Probably. What a heartfelt apology. Come on, guys. What's the point of arguing like this? I know it can feel cathartic to point fingers and yell, but what's it going to accomplish other than bruised egos? You're right. Come on, we're leaving. Now hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Mind if we have a quick word with your cousin, miss? In private? Okay, fine. Just make it quick. And don't you dare try to pull anything on her. She did nothing wrong here. Ladies, I'm afraid that means you two. Don't you need to talk to us? We witnessed this too. Oh, sure, but that can wait. We know where to find y'all. I'm Sheriff Hugby, and this is Deputy Derrickson. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Welcome to Scarlet Hollow. Hope this little accident hasn't colored your perception of the place. Lovely place to live, if you ask me. Lovely indeed. Now, Sheriff Hugby, don't you think it's a mite odd these teens found themselves in an old abandoned mine on the very property Willow's family happens to own? And don't you think it's even a mite bit odder that Willow happened to be in there with them at the time of said collapse? No one died. Poor kid got her leg crushed, but no one died. Why do you care so much? What about this is criminal? I do not understand these cops. I'd be lying if I said it weren't peculiar. Though I'm sure you're an upright citizen, Willow, and all of this is surely an unfortunate coincidence. Still, a good cop should ask himself these questions. We were chaperoning them. Willow doesn't trust the police, so she's not going to tell them about Wayne. We were chaperoning them. We knew they were looking for trouble, and we figured if we were there, we could help them avoid the most of it. Oh, sure, sure. Good to watch out for younger folks. Could have kept them out of the mines, though, if you're supposed to be looking after them. But teens can be difficult, I understand. I'm a father of 2 teen girls myself. The things they can get away with. All this is to say, from here on out, Willow, you should do your best to stay out of trouble. There's plenty to do around town that isn't spelunking around unstable mines. I'd suggest you try to have an uneventful week. The only place I want to see your face again is the funeral on Sunday, God rest Pearl Ann. God rest her. Alrighty then, have a good one, Willow. Earl is very fun to voice, though. Deputy Derrickson tips his hat to you. The 2 officers wander back toward the mine, Derrickson taking notes as they examine the scene. You make your way towards Stella and Kanika. I just can't believe it. I left them behind in there to get help. Is it my fault, Neeks? Oh, poor Stella. Stella, no, you did your best. It's not your fault. Oh, hey, guess the cops are done with you? What, are they going to take you in for being present at an accident? Sorry if they gave you a hard time. Small town cops, you know. Always blame everything on drifters. Even acts of God, I guess. Excellent, you didn't get arrested. Now come on, let's get back to the estate. I'd like to get some rest before I have to deal with the fallout of everything that happened today. I'll see you tomorrow, okay, Willow? I'd really rather you didn't. If you're going to run around almost getting killed every night, keep my cousin out of it. Your cousin is an adult, Tabitha. She can make her own decisions. Not while she's under my roof. Come on, let's go. As if to illustrate her point, Tabitha grabs your arm, dragging you towards the car. Are you kidnapping me? Don't be ridiculous. I'm taking you home. You can practically feel Tabitha roll her eyes as she drags you to the car. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You try to keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, wary of what may lurk behind the tree line. So you lied about Wayne. Not only did you know him, but I've heard you were seeing him. Don't try to distract me from what you did tonight by prying into my personal life. We're not going to make any pleasantries with her. And we're not going to be aggressive about it either. I'm doing terribly, by the way. We're not going to be like that. We'll just ride in silence, I think. No extra talking to our mean cousin. Your eyes wander back to the tree line as you and Tabitha sink back into silence. I think our relationship is mostly going to be awkward silence. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Well, this day was a lot more stressful than it needed to be, and I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Why did you even invite me here? It seems like you hate me. It's like I've caused you nothing but grief since the moment I stepped foot in town. The thing is, Willow kind of has caused Tabitha nothing but grief in this playthrough. I don't hate you, I'm just trying to get through the week, the same as you should be doing. I just don't want you to get hurt. Why don't you hate me? I feel like Willow has been awful. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Tabitha turns and makes her way up the stairs, her posture defeated. You head up to your room to turn in. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Y'all, these are those things, right? Kanika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. I saw them again, too. Another picture, this time of them staring from a tree. WTF, these things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. I guess there's more to them being here than the mine collapse. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out the guest room window, but at this point you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from this evening is finally wearing off, replaced by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes, even as you stare down at the ominous pictures on your phone. If it weren't for the pit of dread balling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle in between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. When you close your eyes, you see Rosalina's face, twisted with pain, staring up at you with tear-streaked cheeks. Ugh. Trapped by powers beyond her control, terrified of what her now uncertain future would hold. Your eyes shoot back open, your heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat. It's always just the cat. Don't read into this. The woman kicked me out. Just want a warm place to sleep. It's nice to see another living being, even one as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. Another cutscene. Tabitha looking sad in her room. Down into the basement of the mansion. Huh. So if the knocking in the mines was caused by ghosts of people who died in the mines, does that mean that there are dead bodies under the mansion as well? Is that what the knocking at the end of chapter 2 indicates? Please save your game now. Will do. Alright, so that went a little bit differently than I expected it would. Like, I knew what would happen. I knew that Rosalina's leg would get crushed if I went back for the other girls. But I didn't expect myself to go back for the other girls. That's not what I thought Willow would do at first. So I always felt like Willow's relationship with Rosalina was one of the more interesting relationships she had in my original Willow playthrough. Because she, as we went over, really looks up to Rosalina. She wants to instill in Rosalina the sense that she can do it on her own. She can stand up to the people who would hold her down and take care of herself. But the decisions that Willow made in chapters 2 and 3 compounded into Rosalina absolutely hating Willow. Now, Rosalina's opinion of Willow won't be fantastic after chapter 3, but I don't think she'll absolutely hate her after she saved her friends. Now, there is another way that we're kind of gonna screw Rosalina over with Rosalina's leg being something having happened to Rosalina's leg and her need for medical attention. That's going to be a little bit complicated later on. I won't spoil exactly how, but I can't really spoil exactly how because the consequences of what I am going to do haven't been explored yet. So I just don't think that in a world where Willow is the protagonist, things are going to end up well for Rosalina. Which is really sad, because Willow thinks that Rosalina is a great kid. It's sad, though. There's a great irony in this relationship, so... Alright, we will start episode 3 next time. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Scarlet Hollow.